Okay, our next question is from Jay Harris. How do I approach early weed control without relying on metazachlor products?
Metazachlor, as I've said, it's been a very significant building block in oilseed rape herbicide programs for many years now. But with the occurrence of it in water, then it's come under some pressure. We've got the metazachlor matter stewardship. For a few years now, there has been a dimethenamide P Quimerac option, which doesn't contain metazachlor. That is one option worth considering. There is another new option for this year, Parish. Parish, we believe, is a very valid non-metazachlor option. It fills the gap. The gap I'm referring to is, we talked about how effective propyzamide aminopyrrolide is. Well, if you're nervous about making a pre-emergence application, you're not sure about using metazachlor, there's a gap there where especially broadleaf weeds can flourish. And to fill that gap, we can use Parish as a contact herbicide, not affected by soil type, activity on a range of broadleaf weeds. Chickweed is an important one. I've already said it can establish quickly and cause competitive issues with the crop. With Parish, we're not adding to the ALS inhibitor burden within the rotation. It's not an ALS inhibitor, so it gives us some degree of safety with that. It works very well in a sequence with the later residuals, such as propyzamide aminopyrrolide. And actually, it's a very complementary weed spectrum to the Clearfield chemistry. The Clearfield varieties, they seem to be getting more popular. There was an uplift in the drilled area last autumn. I think that may continue a bit more for autumn 17 as well. And one of the advantages with Parish comparing it with metazachlor options is it doesn't limit the following crop options in the event of a crop failure. So there are options if we don't want to base our early programs on metazachlor.
Thanks, David. So we've had a few questions in around Parish. Starting off with will Parish control charlock, runch and shepherd's purse? Thank you,
Abby. Yes, Ray, we've got a number of different weeds where we've got data on the levels of weed control which are achievable. I've talked about common chickweed. Your question about runch, charlock and shepherd's purse. Charlock, certainly we've seen in trials that it can have some benefit in the control of charlock. Similarly with shepherd's purse, I haven't seen anything which makes me think it's going to give good control of runch, but I can confirm that. I can look into it. But certainly activity on charlock, chickweed, mayweed species groundsel, and activity on shepherd's purse as well.
And a few more questions here. What following crop restrictions are there after applying Parish?
As we've just seen, actually, using Parish really doesn't limit the following crop options, unlike some of the other herbicides that can be used at that timing.
And a question from Selwyn. Are there any tank mixes with post-M graminicides?
That's a very good question. The positioning of Parish, which is from 2 leaves of the oilseed rape to 9 leaves of the oilseed rape, that overlaps quite clearly with potentially insecticide use for cabbage stem flea beetle, and also, as you asked, Selwyn, with post-M graminicides. At the moment, we're not in a position to recommend them, but it's certainly something we need to look at. Using those foliar graminicides at that time is going to be key to controlling volunteer cereals. If we can apply those together, then it's going to make the job a lot easier on farms. That's something we are going to look at for sure.
And our final Parish question, how crop safe is it? From Richard.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, very good question. I know in the early development of Parish in oilseed rape, the formulation was actually different slightly to the one that's been launched now. And I do know that if Parish was used with metazachlor, or if an adjuvant based on a mineral oil was used, then the crop safety wasn't what we wanted. If we use Parish as defined on the current product label, i.e. not mixing it with metazachlor, not mixing it with mineral oils, then there shouldn't really be any issues with the crop safety.